Okay, alright, let's do some tagging. Alright, here we go. Tag. What else do I need to say? I haven't heard from you in a while yet, Judah. I'm just taking a whole lot of people, so. Alright, okay. So, welcome everybody. Well, my time is 25 past, just 25 past. I just finished reading our chapter for today, Ether chapter 1. Anyway, so before we go into our reading, let's just have a little chat, okay? I'm not sure how you're feeling today. Well, actually, thank you to those who responded to the post to just felt compelled to ask how are you feeling. So thanks to those who came forward with their beautiful spirits. So the reason why I wanted to ask how you're feeling is because some of us in the group are not feeling so great. You know, me, I'm actually, today for me, I'm probably about a 5 out of 10. I'm a 5 out of 10. I'm not sure, yeah, I think I know why, but just, there are a few of us that could just do with that little pickup. And if you are feeling like a 10 out of 10, then why not share that with everyone? Why not just share a bit of joy with everybody? Hi, Kaz! So I just finished thanking people who came forward with their little, just uplifting, happy vibes. God. You know, because I just know that there are some people here who are not a 10 today, who are maybe a 2 or a 5. I'm feeling like a 5 today, but I'm like, sometimes I'm good and then sometimes I'm not good, and then, you know, that's just how things are. But if you are a 10, you know, why not share that joy with other people? Why not just tell people how you're feeling, to just uplift them? So yeah, a couple of things happened in my family this morning that which has made me like a 5. As you know, things happen, and so yeah, I was just feeling like a 5. But although you can be a 5, you can be a 2, you can be a 1, but you can also still feel joy. Does it make sense? To me, the things that make me feel joy are just all things of Christ. You know, He brings me that joy. So I don't know, maybe a few people might be thinking that, you know, because I come on here and I do this, that maybe I'm a 10 all the time. Oh no. And I think that goes for just all of us. Sometimes we're at different stages and different levels of joy, different levels of sadness, and it's okay. I think I saw one of your posts, Belinda, about it's okay to like not be okay, or something like that. Yeah, but anyway, that's just me this morning. How are you guys feeling this morning, and how was your weekend, and what were, you know, some of the things that you experienced in the weekend? If you had you know, feel free to share. But I had such a great day yesterday, and I spent the time with my family, which was really quite healing. I wasn't expecting it. My kids just decided, let's just get together. And you know, family time to me is a healing time. Something that I'm grateful for today is that you have family. You know, you're not alone in your experiences. That, you know, you just appreciate your family more when you have that interaction with them and stuff like that. Anyway, that's me today. How are you guys feeling today? How are you feeling today, Kaz? You all good? I wish I had some of your life. Your life is always good. Yeah, today I'm looking forward to learning more from Ika chapter 1. For my husband and I, our personal study, we are in Ika chapter 12. I think did we do 12 today? Was it 12 or no 13? So we're kind of like ahead in our study, but it's really good because it helps us come into the life with that understanding of where this is leading to, where this chapter is going to lead to. So yeah, I really appreciate that time I had with my husband too. So yeah, anyway, this is us today, this is me today. Okay, so just quick rundown of what's happening this week. I did want to add too, it's like when you have those moments, like for me, I'm a 5 today, yes, yeah. But, you can always power yourself up with uplifting things, like even like those posts that came forward this morning about, just feeling happy and joyful, that really was uplifting. Well, for me it was uplifting. And we can also power up on some scriptures today, which is, it doesn't have to be misery as me all day. And this is the thing that I notice too, like when I'm not feeling 100%, it doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. It just comes and goes. Like it's not misery as me forever. Me personally, I've learned to just pick myself up and just keep going. And when I had my cry there. And then I just go. I keep going. It doesn't matter. Even if I'm crying, I'll still carry on. And the funny thing, we're talking about crying, there's a bit of crying in our chapter today, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Yes, Kaz, I had a good night's rest, so I'm a 10 today. Well done, good girl. Good. Sleep can give you a 10 out of 10 days, so that's really cool. So that's a good point. And I'm going to go back to those people who have commented today and like whatever they're feeling. I would like to know what made them a 10, what is giving them a good day. That's the kind of stuff where we are teaching one another how we can uplift, and even in our misery we can still feel a bit of joy when people share it with us. That's how the whole concept of come follow me is man, it's amazing because it's just the discussion that the way we interact with each other, the way we share information, the way we share ideas. That's how we're teaching one another. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Cass. You're also sending you some happy, joyful vibes. Been listening to my gospel songs and reading uplifting things. Oh, that's very good. That lift my spirit high. Absolutely. That's good advice there too, Kaz. When we're like, I'm not really down. I'm not feeling down. I'm just feeling like this is happening around me. I'm right in the middle of it, and I have to deal with it. And every now and then, it's just like the Spirit will touch you every now and then to kind of confirm things. And that's the same thing with our surroundings too. Like when we have negative vibes around us, of course it's going to touch us every now and then. But it's up to us. We have a choice to sit in it, dwell on it. We can rise above it and push through. I'm rearranging my house, getting ready to put my Christmas tree later. For family evening. Wow, that's a great idea too. I don't even know if we have a Christmas tree. When we move, it's kind of like everything disappears and sometimes ends up in the rubbish. So I hope we have a Christmas tree. But that's a good idea. Actually, Belinda, post that up on the group page, and perhaps put it out there. Put your Christmas trees up and take a photo. Share it with us. Yeah. Hey sis, you here? Or you just popped in and busy again? But yeah, send some positive vibes to everybody. It just it just chases away the dumb things that happen in our day. And they do come. The dumb things do come. So we are not. No, it's gonna happen. Anyway, so I'm ready to soon I'll be ready to go into things. I'm just looking at some of the things that I wrote down. Okay, so later today at 4 o'clock, we are going to review, what is it called? Atakalos A. Godoy. I Believe in Angels. We're going to review his talk, do a live on his talk today. Sister Ryan's doing the same thing. Okay, well, let's do something about that, eh? How about we put that up as a post, you know, to show your Christmas tree once it's all decorated. Come on, inspire one another, people. I think that would be a great idea. Linda, could you, you know, post that up somewhere, or maybe after you've done yours, take a photo of it and post it up and just let it just roll. Let people just add their photos. Inspiration is amazing. Okay, but that's a good idea, rearranging the house and getting ready for Christmas. It's only like 6 weeks till Christmas too, so you know, good thinking, good thinking. What else have we got to do? No, it's just talking about the lesson for today. Alright, let's go to our reading now. Before we do that, let's have our prayer, and I'll turn this right down. I don't know why that song is on. Okay, you ready? Yes, you will do it. Okay, great, Belinda. Thank you so much for doing that. I actually felt inspired to choose that I Believe in Angels too. That talk from reading Mia's post. Mia, if you come in, thank you for your post. The one about the angels, the 4 missionaries. What a timely reminder. And the thing that I liked about that post, not only the thing about the angels, but I tell you, there's something quite special about receiving a priesthood blessing, especially when you really need it. Like I'm on 5 out of 10 today. I could really do with something special, like a priesthood blessing, and even for members of my family too. So thank you, Mia, for that post. It really did kind of like give me some healing this morning of what to do with my situation. Okay? Thank you. That's the joy of sharing. That's the joy of sharing. Here we go. So let's have our prayer, and then we'll go straight into our little bit of discussion about our chapter today, and introduce the book. Okay, let's pray. Our dear Father in heaven, we thank you for this wonderful time and opportunity to be here together, to give thanks and gratitude for all our blessings this day, and as we acknowledge the things that may bring us down, we pray, Father, that they will help us to find hope and joy as we study our scriptures today and talk with one another and uplift one another and inspire each other to be strong and to press forward in faith and to have hope and charity in our hearts. We pray, Father, that thy Spirit may help us and guide us to find the message that thou hast in store for us this day, and to ponder these things and be able to apply them in our daily lives. And help us to strengthen ourselves and to acknowledge our weaknesses and to humble ourselves and to feel thy Spirit, thy guidance that we need this day. We're grateful, Father, for all our blessings, and pray that thou will be with us at this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Okay, so we are at Ether, chapter 1. Alright, so I'm not sure if you have come follow me the manual, but for those who don't have the manual, I'm just going to go through a bit of introduction that they would like us to know, background information onto the chapter, okay? So the lesson today is Ether, chapter 1, that's the chapter we're studying, from the Book of Mormon. And if you don't have a copy of the Book of Mormon, please come forward and say something and ask. Just ask, and we can sort that out for you. No problem. And the topic for today is, as I cry unto the Lord, he will have compassion on me. There you go. I just talked about a bit of crying this morning, and I think we're going to learn something, important about how the Lord has compassion on us. when we cry unto him, especially in times when we're having difficulties. It's important to cry. I think it's necessary. To have these moments. Anyway, let's go into the background. So, Ether chapter 1 to 5 is what we're doing this week. And the whole topic for the whole week is, quote, rend that veil of unbelief, close quote. Right. The book of Ether is the record of the Jaredites. If you don't know who the Jaredites are, then feel free to ask. Who arrived in the Promised Land centuries before the Nephites. God inspired Moroni to include Ether's record in the Book of Mormon because of its relevance to our day. How do you feel it is relevant to your life? Right, so we'll go into some information. While it is true that God's way is always higher than ours, and we should always submit to his will, he also encourages us to think and act for ourselves. That's one lesson Jared and his brother learned. For example, the idea of traveling to a new land that was choice above all the earth seemed to start in Jared's mind. Okay, so Jared must have had some kind of thought in his mind about traveling to a new land. And the Lord had compassion and promised to grant the request, saying, quote, thus I will do unto thee, because this long time you have cried unto me, close quote. Beautiful. And when the brother of Jared realized how dark it was inside the barges that would carry them to their promised land, the Lord invited him to suggest a solution, asking a question that we usually ask him. Quote, what will ye that I should do? What will ye that I should do? Close quote. So, the message seems to be that we shouldn't expect God to command us in all things. We can share with him our own thoughts and ideas, and he will listen and give his confirmation, or else counsel us otherwise. I like that. Sometimes the only thing separating us from the blessings we seek is our own veil of unbelief. Yes. And if we can rend that veil, we may be surprised by what the Lord is willing to do for us. I like that. So we'll go over it more inside the chapter as we get to this conversation between who was it, Jared? And when the brother of Jared realized how dark it was, it's a conversation between Jared and his brother and the Lord. Okay, let's just put it that way. And I like this part where it says we can share with him our own thoughts and ideas. And he will listen and give his confirmation, or else counsel us otherwise. I'm not sure if you've experienced this, but have you ever experienced times when you're like, you have a thought in your mind, and what you're actually doing is you're actually asking the Lord, what should I do here? What am I going to do next? And then in that thought, he gives you a thought, and it's like, he's pretty much just answered what it is that you had on your mind. Just wondering if you've had conversations like that with the Lord. Okay, so Emmanuel wants us to focus on Ether chapter 1, verses 33 to 43. And in this portion of the chapter, it is the conversation between, they are offering prayers. They're not just saying their prayers, they're like crying unto him. We need some help. We need to know some things, okay? So let me just go over it quickly. As I cry unto the Lord, he will have compassion on me. Ether 1, verses 33 to 43. If you want to mark those verses, go ahead. Tells of 3 prayers of the brother of Jared. What do you learn from the Lord's response to each of these prayers? Think about a time when you have experienced the Lord's compassion as you have cried unto him in prayer. You may want to record this experience and share it with someone who may need to hear your testimony. Yes. And what I encourage you to do, because this is for personal study, what I encourage you to do is, if you've had some of those moments, then feel free to come through in the comments and share those moments. I'll go over it later on, and I've included in our questions to ponder. Think about a time when you have experienced the Lord's compassion as you cried unto him in prayer. So if you have an experience to share, then please feel free to share it. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's start then. We'll get into our chapter reading. Where's my book? So the reason why I like to read the whole thing, and I'm not sure. Well, the reason is purely because I'm reading to those who want to hear. Does it make sense? I'm reading to those who sometimes have difficulty reading it and understanding it. I'm reading for those who have a desire to learn more. Okay? That's why I read them. And reading is not one of my strengths. It's not. Because I'm so used to getting other people to read. And I'm such my personal study is very different to how I'm coming through on the lives that but a sacrifice won't hurt, just, yeah. Anyway, let's just carry on. Alright, so we're at the book of Ether, the record of the Jaredites, taken from the 24 plates found by the people of Limhi in the days of King Mosiah. There you go. Chapter 1. In our chapter heading, we have Moroni abridges the writings of Ether. Ether's genealogy is set forth. There's quite a bit too. The language of the Jaredites is not confounded at the Tower of Babel. The Lord promises to lead them to a choice land and make them a great nation. Beautiful. Alright, here we go. This one. And settle down. And now I, Moroni, proceed to give an account of those ancient inhabitants who were destroyed by the hand of the Lord upon the face of this north country. Verse 2. And I take mine account from the 24 plates, which were found by the people of Limhi, which is called the Book of Ether. Verse 3. Pause here for a second. I must admit, I've read this book heaps of times. I'm sure you have too, Belinda. I've read this book many times. I've not seen it in the way that I'm seeing it now. My husband and I, when we do personal study, I'm seeing things that I've never seen before. And I'm starting to really, truly value the book of Ether. But let me know what impressions come to you as we go through this book, okay? And feel free to write them down, record them, so when we come into the lives, you remember what to say. Okay, verse 3. And I suppose that the first part of this record, which speaks concerning the creation of the world, and also of Adam, and an account from that time even to the great tower, and whatsoever things transpired among the children of men until that time, is hid among the Jews. Verse 4. Therefore I do not write those things which transpired from the days of Adam until that time, but they are hid upon the plates, and whoso findeth them, the same will have power, that he may get the full account. Verse 5. But behold, I give not the full account, but a part of the account I give, from the tower down until they are destroyed. Verse 6. Okay, so he's only giving a portion of the account. Verse 6. And on this do I give the account. He that wrote this record was Ether, and he was a descendant of Coriantor. Alright, here we go, here's the genealogy. Verse 7. Coriantor was the son of Moran, and Moran was the son of Ethan, and Ethan was the son of Ahah, and Ahah was the son of Seth, and Seth was the son of Shiblon, and Shiblon was the son of Com, and Com was the son of Coriantum, and Coriantum was the son of Amnigada, and Amnigada was the son of Aaron, and Aaron was a descendant of Heth, who was the son of Hathom, and Hathom was the son of Lib, and Lib was the son of Kish, and Kish was the son of Haram. Haram was the son of Levi, and Levi was the son of Kim, And Kim was the son of Morianton. And Morianton was a descendant of Replakish. And Replakish was the son of Shez, and Shez was the son of Heth. Beautiful genealogy, eh? Just awesome how they just kept records that were important. Son of Shez, and Shez was the son of Heth, and Heth was the son of Com, and Com was the son of Creantum. Creantum was the son of Emma, and Emma was the son of Omer, and Omer was the son of Shul, and Shul was the son of Kib, and Kib was the son of Orihah, and Orihah, who was the son of Jared. Alright, here we go. Verse 33 to 43. This is the gold verses. Yeah, I love the history of Ether and the Jaredites. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that happens as a result of your desire and willingness to learn and expand upon what you already know. Yes. The Lord is blessing you with an increase. Absolutely, I feel that. I really do feel my eyes are just open to so many different things. So I really appreciate it. It kind of like gives me a deeper, just a deeper understanding of and connecting with him even more. Okay, here we go. Verse 33. And Jared came forth with his brother and their families, with some others and their families, from the great tower at the time the Lord confounded the language of the people, and swore in his wrath that they should be scattered upon the face of the earth. And according to the word of the Lord, the people were scattered. Okay, so this is from the Tower of Babel. People of the Tower of Babel. Those people who are not sure of the Book of Mormon, so you can make your connection, alright, with the people from the Tower of Babel in the Bible. Verse 34. And the brother of Jared, being a large and mighty man, and a man highly favored of the Lord, Jared his brother said unto him, Cry unto the Lord, that he will not confound us, that we may not understand our words. Alright. Verse 35. And it came to pass that the brother of Jared did cry unto the Lord, and the Lord had compassion upon Jared. Therefore he did not confound the language of Jared. And Jared and his brother were not confounded. So they were, I'm not sure what the word confounded means, Belinda. I'm not sure if you can have a quick look what it means, but for me, I think it's just saying that didn't confound the language, that they were able to understand each other and the language that they spoke to each other. Otherwise, the Lord was just going to, like, I don't know, make out that nobody was just change the language, I guess, so people wouldn't understand each other. Verse 36. Then Jared said unto his brother, Cry again unto the Lord, and it may be that he will turn away his anger from them who are our friends, that he confound not their language. Okay, so it's, including his friends. Verse 37, and it came to pass that the brother of Jared did cry unto the Lord, and the Lord had compassion upon their friends and their families also, that they were not confounded. Verse 38, and it came to pass that Jared spake unto his brother, saying, Go and inquire of the Lord, whether he will drive us out of the land. And if he will drive us out of the land, cry unto him, whither he shall go. And who knoweth, but the Lord will carry us forth into a land which is choice above all the earth. And if so be, let us be faithful unto the Lord, that we may receive it for our inheritance. Beautiful. Cry unto the Lord. I like that. Verse 39. And it came to pass that the brother of Jared did cry unto the Lord, according to that which had been spoken by the mouth of Jared. Beautiful. Verse 40. And it came to pass that the Lord did hear the brother of Jared, and had compassion upon him, and said unto him, 41. Go and gather together thy flocks, both male and female, of every kind, and also of the seed of the earth of every kind, and thy families, and also Jared thy brothers, and his family, and also thy friends and their families, and the friends of Jared and their families. Verse 42. And when thou hast done this, thou shalt go at the head of them down into the valley, which is northward. And there will I meet thee, and I will go before thee into a land which is choice above all the lands of the earth. Verse 43. And there will I bless thee and thy seed, and raise up unto me of thy seed, and of thy seed of thy brother, and they who shall go with thee, a great nation. And there shall be none greater than the nation which I will raise up unto me of thy seed, upon all the face of the earth. And thus I will do unto thee, because this long time ye have cried unto me. Beautiful. Hey, that's nice. Like Nephi, the brother of Jared, was highly favored of the Lord. Yes, absolutely. This is a beautiful story. Okay, so we've got some questions here. The first one was Ether 1:33 to 43, and tells of prayers of the brother of Jared. What do you learn from the Lord's response? What do you learn from the Lord's response? Wow, it's all in the topic for today. As I cry unto the Lord, He will have compassion on me. And and you can hear the language in the conversation between the brother Jared and the Lord, that it is one of respect and one of love and compassion. And what do you learn from the Lord? And His response, I think if you are sincere, and He already knows the intentions of your heart. He knows before you ask. And I think He had already known that Jared and his brother were, they had a pure intent to know the things that they should do, and they knew that, the only way that they could, seek help is by asking, I guess. And that's what it kind of like means to me. So the question was, what do you learn from the Lord's response? Be compassion upon them. And the next question is, think of a time you have experienced the Lord's compassion as you have cried unto Him in prayer. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question for us. So I'm happy to hear your thoughts about this chapter, and I'll share a few thoughts that came to my mind too. So that question is, think of a time when you have experienced the Lord's compassion as you have cried unto Him in prayer. Okay, so I'll share a few thoughts, and if you want to share something, then I'll stop, as normal. So as I thought about that question, I thought, when has there been a time when we have cried unto the Lord for help and He's had compassion on us? I think it's like, the first thing that came to my mind was, like, for us, the brother of Jared and his people, they were to make a journey to a new land, and I think coming here, it was like something similar to us coming here. We just had a strong desire to come here, and it felt good, it felt right, and we had prayed about it, and we had asked the Lord to, we were just at a time in our lives where we just really needed some kind of change. We needed something. We weren't sure what it was, but we knew we needed something. And anyway, I'll just tell you what I wrote down. So by faith we came here to Perth. We had nowhere to stay. We didn't feel discouraged. We felt the love of God in our hearts to persevere. So it felt right. It hasn't been easy living here. Many times we cry unto the Lord for help. And many times angels assist us, the seen and the unseen. Many tears have been shed, and we still do. But after the tears, our testimonies are strengthened, and our faith and courage to continue are restored. You see, I don't think we are alone in our trials. The Lord is very aware. Satan's influence is essential at times. He is present. It helps us see our weaknesses for what they are. But there is truth in Ether chapter 6, Ether chapter 12, verse 6, and verse 27. And yeah, I'll just quickly read those verses for you, eh? Yeah. I know that my husband, he really liked these verses, and they have been the centre of our discussion over this whole weekend. And sometimes we've been wondering why we have so many trials, and then it came to us as we read these two verses. I'll just quickly share them with you, okay? 12 verse 6, and it says here, and now I, Moroni, would speak somewhat that concerning these things I will show unto the world, that faith is things which are hoped for and not seen. Wherefore dispute not, because ye see not, or receive no witness until after the trial of your faith. And I think this verse is really, those last words there, for you receive no witness until after the trial of your faith. And I guess it was faith that brought us here. And we have received the witness. And it's just like you have to take that leap of faith. You have to take that leap of faith to know what is right for you. And I think what it does is it strengthens that journey that you have, that relationship that you have with the Lord. Like these people, they were unsure of their future. They didn't know what that was going to happen to them, but they did cry to the Lord for help to get them somewhere where they would be safe and be happy and be able to still communicate with each other. Well, for us, we were just at a point in our life where we just needed a change. Things weren't looking so good for us, back in New Zealand. And it wasn't the fact that we were looking for a better life. It was just that we were looking for some guidance. And the Lord just gave us some, He gave us an opportunity where we could come here. And it hasn't been for us, I don't think it's been a journey about finding ourselves. I think it's just been a journey in having faith and just doing things that the Lord wants us to do. We're not perfect at doing that. That's why it's a constant struggle every day. But what I do know and what I have received from this experience of coming here all the way here, because our families are not here. Our families are not here. Our close families are not here. And I think if I was still in New Zealand, I wouldn't be as reliant on the Lord. I'll be too comfortable. Because I've got my family everywhere, and I just want to, it's just some things that happen when you're not with your loved ones, when you're not close with your loved ones, living close by. And so you tend to do things that are out of character for yourself. You tend to take that leap of faith for the Lord. What makes us cry unto the Lord? I don't know. It's just different for everybody. But it's a constant thing for me. Hi, Eti. Yeah, it's a constant thing for me, and I think it's just real for each one of us. We all have those times when we have to cry unto the Lord. For whatever reason, for us, I think the journey started many years ago before we came here. But it has just heightened the experience of relying on Him since we have been here, away from our family. And there are times when we don't know what we need to do, what we're meant to do, but when we cry to Him, we receive something. And it's usually in a time when we are experiencing something quite difficult. Or, there's just some, to me, I think it's like Satan's power working against us. He doesn't want us to do well. He's always looking for opportunities to bring us down, and it's a constant struggle. It's not going to be a perfect ride all the time, But I just despite the trials that we have, that He is here with us always. And it's like that conversation. It's like He read the thoughts of the brother of Jared, and I think He constantly thinks He understands our thoughts too. But what he wants to see us do is cry to him. You know, he could fix everything just like that, but it does take an effort on our part to do something. And although some of these trials might seem like misery and quite hard, very difficult, but I tell you, there's so much joy that comes after the trial of your faith. Which is why I brought that, you know, this has been the thing of my husband's bringing up that verse, because when he brings it up, he doesn't fully understand what it means, and so we correlate together to kind of like get a deeper understanding of what that verse means. And so just verse 6, it started popping in our minds like, oh my gosh, we've already been doing this. But see, you don't notice it straight away until you talk to each other, until you ponder it. And it was like, after the trial of your faith, wow, faith got us here to Perth. We came over, my daughter and I, we came over, and Lehi, we came over on her last pay. We didn't have anything. We didn't have a job to come to. We didn't have a house to come to. And although we didn't have those things, we still came because we felt it was right, and we felt that the Lord was with us in our journey, and He would help us along the way, which He has immensely. And that's just after the trial of your faith, and we didn't even get to the Ether 12:27 where it talks about your weaknesses and how you humble yourself. We didn't even get there, and then we just started seeing all these experiences where we have actually taken that leap of faith, many of them. And like even my husband talked about coming all the way here on the train. He's not from here, but he took a train from Kalgoorlie all the way here, and only by faith he did that, because he felt it was the right thing to do for his family. And he was alone in doing that. I cannot even comprehend. And so what we had to look back and see is that we have been taking these steps. We have been gaining a witness. We have been taking the leap of faith, and the Lord is still with us. He is still with us, you know. I mean, that's just a portion of what we discussed over the weekend. Right, Belinda, beautiful sharing, because the change is so refreshing, so renewing, so welcoming. It changes everything, absolutely. You know, sometimes in order for us to grow towards growth, we need to come out of our safety net, our comfort zones. Yes. I see the stronger, the benefits of it. I really do. You know, moving out of your comfort zone. It's not always the easy thing to do, but by faith, you can actually see and hope for things, you know, that are to come. You can't see them, but you know that they are there. We come out of our safety net, our comfort zones, in order to grow and strengthen ourselves. Absolutely. Change is necessary, otherwise we're stuck in the same, never receiving any increase like you are now going through. Absolutely. And this is the thing that, you know, every time you take that leap of faith, that trial of your faith, after every experience, it does strengthen you in a way that you know it's definitely a relationship between you and the Lord. And even as he speaks here, he says, well, you know, he's really like, to a point, they know and understand each other. They know each other's language with each other. I mean, I'm talking about the Lord and the brother Jared. They understand each other by faith. And, you know, even to the point where the Lord asks, he doesn't tell him what to do. He's like, well, what is it that you want me to do? What do you think I should do? What can I do for you? And he's giving them an opportunity to think for themselves. I think that's like for us too. He cannot always be giving us something. He cannot always be just handing it over to us, because how will we learn? And how will we learn to appreciate, you know, these experiences? I was like that before coming here, and I felt like I wasn't improving. Absolutely. I felt the same too. Increasing or progressing at all, yes. The thing is, I wanted to change, but I felt so helpless. I didn't know how to do it and make it happen. Oh, the Lord decided I was taking too long, so he made my husband push his boat on the reef, leaving us with nothing for our income. Long short, we're here. Oh, awesome, Kaz. That's a beautiful story. And I know that there would have been some decision making in that process, you know, to get here. And, well, looks like the Lord said, hurry up, let's move yourself and your family already. But I also know that in those moments when he does push us and move us out of our comfort, you see, one of the things I'm discovering also is that comfort is also a weapon, is also a tool in the hands of Satan. Comfort can leave people stagnant, to not improve the way that the Lord would have you improve. Comfort can be a danger, it can be a harm for us. So I love that, how the Lord just pushes you, just gives you a little nudge in the direction that you need to be. And sometimes change, like moving away from your environment is can be the best thing. It can be. Moving away from that environment that just keeps you like in one place, I think, it's different for everybody, but sometimes I see changing your environment as even to do it by faith, it can, what's that phrase, your future is as bright as your faith, and you don't actually see what your future will be like, but you can see it would be better. Like, what have you got to lose by just taking that leap of faith? What have you got to lose? Like nothing. It couldn't get any worse. So just take the leap. And if you fail, then you fail, but at least you tried. Yeah? So I think these opportunities are, they work in our favor. They actually do benefit us. And they do bring greater blessings, in the long run. Hang on, what else have I got here? Ether 12:27. Let me just read that quickly, okay? Ether 12. So there's just been, and I think if you look back in your own circumstances with your families, you can see where the Lord has put you in a situation where you had to take that leap of faith for yourself. Change is good. Yeah. Take a leap of faith. Here we go, verse 27. And it says here, right, and see, this is all part of the experience of having a trial of your faith too. Now, obviously, and it's funny, it's kind of like, it's like a message throughout the whole book of Ether. Well, that's what I'm learning, and the message is it's very similar to what we're experiencing today. And as we read in the introduction to this chapter from the manual, that's why Moroni was supposed to put it into the book, because Ether's experience with his people is just the same as what we're experiencing today. Alright, let's go to 12:27. And if men come unto me, I will show unto them their weakness. I give unto men weakness, that they may be humbled. And my grace is sufficient for all men that humble themselves before me. For if they humble themselves before me and have faith in me, then will I make weak things become strong unto them. And that just covers a whole lot of things about what can happen if we just. And I find that our weaknesses come forward. Sometimes they come forward as we're experiencing great trials. And sometimes we can cry about it, not in a good way, but I guess what it's saying, that if you humble yourself anyway and come unto me, as he says, and I will give unto men weakness, that they may be humble. And my grace is sufficient for all men. So I guess I think in our times of weakness, what can we do? Cry about it, or we can look to God in that. And like it says here, he can make weak things become strong. So, it makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not sure if it's making sense to you. We are loved, and most, especially during our trials, yes. We cry more to the Lord. When we suffer, yes. When we feel broken, lost and overwhelmed. When all is well, I cry unto the Lord. And gratitude, yes, for so much more than even I feel I deserve, yes. Just goes to show what Heavenly Father and Savior is willing to bless us with for our little daily efforts. Yes, absolutely progressing. And I see the thing about it, after the trial of your faith, you receive a witness after the trial of your faith. So you got to do something first. in order to gain that witness. And I think what part of it is, for me, is what we witness is we actually get to see the pure love of Christ and the pure love of Heavenly Father. That's what we witness. We witness His grace and His love and His mercy for us. You know, even if we just don't even deserve it, He forgives it for the little things that we do. And I think that's what keeps us coming back for more. And even though despite we having, see, I posted something, I was really kind of like upset the other day, and that's me pouring myself out. I'm crying unto the Lord, and I'm actually sharing that. I share it because I want others to feel that, you know, you don't have to hold it in. You don't have to keep it inside you. And sometimes I think, you know, this is me personally. I think all experiences are for sharing. That's just me. You know, I'm not afraid to share these things because I know it's going to benefit others who are going through some difficult times and just don't know how to deal with it. So I mean, that's why I share. That's why I just let it out in the open. I've been doing it too many years to just hold it in, and it's just like experiencing joy. When you have felt that joy, you just want to share it with others. You cannot contain it. And for me, when I go through my trials, I actually feel like I don't want to contain it. I don't want to keep it to myself because I want others to experience, I don't know, that you can heal yourself. You can not heal yourself. You can actually fix yourself. Do it yourself. There is a way. And sometimes it's just as easy as just talking about it. Yes, talking about it. Talking about it is good. And you find out, sometimes you find out the core of what it is that you need to do just by talking about it. Okay, so through our weaknesses, if we are humble, He will help us on our bad days. This is what I got written down here. And what else have I got? Today my eyes are opened to the weaknesses of our family. Yes. Okay, so I can't share too much about the things that I'm going through right now, in respect for those who are going through it. But yeah, some things were revealed to me this morning, and yeah, there are things that, it's like for anything, when you have loved ones and they are sorely affected by trials, and you can't do it for them, right? And that's like it's a really tough job being a mother, and let me just say that. It's a really tough job being a mother, and you know, throughout our whole lifetime being mothers, we experience a lot of things. You know, sometimes our loved ones, our children or our husbands will experience things that can, well, it hurts them, but it's going to hurt you too. Yeah, it's going to hurt you too. Anyway, I can't say too much about it, but I will share as much as I can. So today my eyes are open to the weakness of our family, and through our afflictions, when we cry unto the Lord, He will have compassion on us. And I feel it, yes, I do feel it. Despite I'm going through some stuff and that of my family too, I still feel His compassion and His love for us and His mercy and His grace. I still feel all those things. I still feel hope. I still feel faith. I can choose not to, but the choice is I don't choose that at all. I choose to have faith in Heavenly Father and our Savior. I heard the car up here. Yeah. So what is the lesson for us here, people? As I cry unto the Lord, He will have compassion on me. And I have many, 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 many stories of His compassion for me. And I am, like I said, keep saying I'm in debt to Him forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And doing this is nothing, you know, it is nothing compared to what I owe Him. I owe Heavenly Father and our Savior Jesus Christ, because they do so much for me, and I can never repay them back, you know, in all my efforts. And the things that I've seen that they can do, it's just amazing. It's amazing. And it is a real testament to how much they actually do love us. And like I said, that's the witness that you'll gain, is that you'll gain a stronger testimony of their love for us. And that's what it is, because they actually don't have to do anything for us. They don't, but they do, because that's their love for us. And it is a very personal relationship that we have with them. That really does tell us that. And it's making that personal connection with them. And I really like the conversation that Brother Jared is having with the Lord. You know, they're talking to each other like they know each other. And I think in our conversations that we have with him, with Heavenly Father, it can be that way too. You know, if we allow it to be. We don't have to be strangers to Heavenly Father and our Savior Jesus Christ. You know, by faith we can strengthen those relationships with Him and trust Him more. You know, that word trust is such an important word, especially when we're enduring these trials. So, yeah. In closing, if there's anything you want to say when you come in closing, I'd love to hear some of these personal experiences of how the Lord has had compassion on you. You know, one of the things that comes to mind is the compassion He has on me, is that He blessed me with a good husband, and He blessed me with a good husband. We were just talking about this morning how I'll read from you, Belinda. In order for us to truly know Christ-like attributes, we must experience them. I know humility. We need to be humble. To know long-suffering, we must also go through long-suffering. To know meekness, we must be meek and lowly of heart. And likewise, for all other attributes, it's life. Only then and receive a better understanding of all things as we go through and experience firsthand all things. This is our classroom, time to learn and improve upon, or that we may have eyes to see and ears to hear, and a heart that understands all things spiritual. Christian God, why do you think he was called the brother of Jared instead of calling him a name? Because he's too holy. To me, I'd liken it to like our Heavenly Mother. We don't talk often of her because, you know, it's just out of respect that we don't church her name like people in the world do. But to my understanding, it's because He was so faithful. He was just, and like you say, highly favoured of the Lord. And I don't think they wanted people to disrespect His name. Well, that's what I think anyway. But yeah, I did think that at first. Why did they call him? Why didn't they just use his name? But later on, his name was revealed by Prophet Joseph Smith as Mahonai. But yeah, I think there's a time and season for all things, and it just happened to be in the time of our Prophet Joseph Smith that it be revealed. Oh man, I am really, well, where we are right now, and we're in Ether chapter 13. We kind of like get an insight of what's happening with the Jaredite people, and how things could change like that, you know, from being a fruitful people to just change it on a pathway of destruction. And it doesn't take very much for that to happen. And yeah, I guess, you know, Moroni was able to see how this could, adding this story to the book would benefit us too, you know. So we have much to learn. We have much to learn from the Jaredites. It's actually quite interesting. Yeah, and I'm loving it too. But Anyway, this is our story today. I never quite know how some of these things that we do on the live are going to affect us, but you know, it's always like this. Like I had this experience just before we start talking about this topic and stuff, and it is, you know, it just helps me feel it a lot more. Yes, his name is Mohan Rai, and it's a beautiful name. Yes, it is. Sister Ryan mentioned his name on one of your posts. Oh, okay. Yes, Mohan Rai is his name. He's beautiful. He's amazing. And yeah, there's a few things that we'll learn about his faith. His faith is amazing. You can learn so much from him and the experiences that he's going to have from here on. So they're just, at the moment, they're just preparing to make they're in conversation with the Lord at the moment to discuss what will happen to them, and the Lord is just going to put them in a situation where they've got to go by faith. It'll all depend on their faith, whether, you know, this thing will work for them. So that's where we are right now in the chapter. Do I have any thoughts to share? Belinda, do you have any thoughts to share before we wrap it up? Anything you want to add? Oh my goodness, I always feel like, you know, each lesson is connected to my real life, you know. Yeah, I always feel that way. Anyway, in closing, I'd just like to be my testimony that I love this reminder that if we cry unto the Lord, He will have compassion on us. Man, I've been doing that for such a long time. Crying is second nature to me. It is something I could probably do like every day. And yeah, I'm learning. I'm still learning from the experiences. But what I can say is that it does strengthen my faith when I go through days like this. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a learning experience, and I'm grateful for it. I'm not sad and misery. I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm learning and I'm growing from the opportunity. So, you know, bring it on. I can handle it. And just like to be my testimony that I know that these things are true. I think we have much to learn from the brother Jared and his brother and their families. And yeah, I say these things humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen, everybody. Belinda, anything you want to share before we wrap it up? No? No, all good? Well, you can share it as after we close up anyway, if anything comes to you. Anyway, let's wrap it up. I've got to do another one at 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock. You're amazing and faithful to the Lord. Oh, that's all that matters. You are more than enough. I'm grateful for you and your family. Thank you again. We will see you later on. Thank you, Kaz, so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm always grateful for you. And yeah, let's just keep going. And you know what? One thing I want to say before I close up is that don't worry about me. I'm always okay. You know, if I come and I share some thoughts, I'm sharing them because I just want people to know that they can share. It's not because I'm in misery and pain and stuff like that. No, I only have misery for a short time, because the Lord just said, wipe your tears and hurry up and get going, you've got work to do. So I'm only like that for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm moving again, okay? So I just want to make sure that people know that I'm okay. I'm okay. All right? So thank you all for your outpouring of love and the beautiful things that you say on the page. So inspiring. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kaz, for leading the way too, Linda. Love you guys. Very much, very much. Okay, I'll close with a prayer. Oh, dear Father in heaven, we thank Thee for this wonderful opportunity that we have had to come before Thee in humility to learn more from Thee and from this beautiful experience that is shared with us from the book of Ether, of Jaron and his brother and their families. And we pray, Father, that they would help us to liken ourselves to them, that we may find faith in all that we do, and that we may be able to strengthen our faith in our life experiences, whether they be for good or evil, that we may learn from them, and that we may ponder these things in our minds and our hearts, and be able to come unto Thee in times of difficulty and lack of understanding, that we may be able to see things for what they truly are, and that we may do so by faith. We're grateful, Father, for all our wonderful experiences of living, and we're grateful for each other and for this time and opportunity to be here. And we say these things humbly in the name of our Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. We'll see you later. Mwah. You want everyone to know that we all go through bad times, and we're imperfect. Absolutely, Kaz. Nicely worded. We are all imperfect. We are all in the same boat. We're all just doing this journey the same way. No one is better than anyone else. We're just looking after each other. Okay? Love you. Bye.